everybody. So today Elton and I are going shopping for plants. We're going to look for bog plants for a project that I'm doing. I have a big container that I've been really hesitant to fill, mainly because I'm tired of having to water things, and I know I tell y'all this all the time, the water restrictions are pretty tough around here. Any water that I have, I try to use to top off my pond, which I feel like is a good resource, and it's worth that water use that we use, because there's so many animals and things that come to feed and bathe and drink and do all the things that they do. So I feel like it's a much bigger benefit than having any kind of grass or any kind of plants that truly won't survive here. So what I'm going to do with this planter is I'm going to create a water garden out of it, and I'm kind of feeling inspired by some aquariums that I have and just design that I do with the aquarium. And I have some beautiful pieces of wood that I have actually made my husband hunt around, and when I see pieces of wood, he usually drives me and I go hunt through the green belts and pick up things in random places, and he's fully supportive of that. He laughs at me because a lot of times I'll find things on the side of the road that no one else sees, and I'm like, I want that piece of wood. So I'm finally going to put a few of these pieces together in my waterscape in this pot with some bog plants, and I think it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. And I have a few little fun little surprises to show you. So I'm excited, and Elton and I are going to go shopping, and I know exactly what plants that I want. I have a few of the plants that I really enjoy in my pond, but I didn't want to break them up in the pond because they look so good. So I'm just going to go get one more and use that in my design. And I have a few other things that I'll be showing you, so come along with me. This is going to be fun. Okay, so you can see probably why Elton and I came here. This is the Hill Country Water Gardens, and they have a beautiful selection of bog plants. And I'm trying to stay focused on the plant that I wanted, which is these guys, the papyrus, because I really love the little flower like finial on top. I don't know what you would call that actually. It's so pretty though, and I think it'd be a nice addition to that pot. There's also a horsetail reed, which in the ground can be extremely invasive, but in a pot it's totally fine. Just not sure that's exactly what I'm looking for. I like it, but I'm not loving it, and these guys I love, but they're so sensitive to the heat here. I'm not into it. So I love this, but I know it gets really big. So I think that although it's gorgeous, I feel like it's going to be far too big for that planter. But man, it's really a beautiful variegated cattail. And these are actually some plants that I was looking at coming to get, but I'm really being very drawn to the smaller variety. This is so cute. I think I'm going to go with this. These are the two I picked out. I think I'm going to go with this one. It's got a little bit more upright structure. This one's got a lot of pieces that are kind of falling down. And to get started, I would like to have most of my foliage upright. So I think I'm going to go with this guy. And yeah. hard it is to get through there without buying every plant and every fountain. Oh my God, that place is fantastic. So I ended up leaving with one plant that I went in for, and I'm so proud of myself. I got the dwarf papyrus, and I am really happy with it. It kind of fell apart and did all kinds of, maybe I dropped it, I don't know, you know, but it is going to be fabulous, and I'm really happy with it. I can't wait to get home and get this planted. All right, let's get started. All right, so we're home, and I want to show you my little setup. I need to go gather some rocks in the back, but I just want to show you where I'm at so far. Okay, so here's my plant that I purchased, and look how cool those are. It's so pretty. And this is the pot. Yesterday I filled it with some water to make sure that it wasn't leaking, and it's not. And what I have at the bottom is just the waterproof tape that you can buy. I believe it's Gorilla brand. And this is my piece of wood that I sourced from God only knows where. I have my plugs back here. It's not really the prettiest thing in the world, but hopefully this will be a distraction. Maybe I can find a better way to kind of organize those. We'll figure that out later on. Okay. I'm gonna get you on video then.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. Oh, no. Okay, that didn't last long. He was helping me until he found out he was on video because he didn't want his skinny legs in the video. So so these are some rocks that I have that was in our galvanized pond that was here that I decided I no longer wanted to have because we are deciding to move in the near future. So I'm trying to downsize some of my hazards. So we went to a good home. So it did go to a good home. I'm really happy. A little boy got it that had always wanted a pond, and to see the joy in his face was worth more than that pond could ever. The joy that it brought him just couldn't, I mean, I couldn't compare it to that. So I was happy to give it to the little boy. He ended up buying it off Marketplace and made a very happy little kid, and I'm really happy for that. So I'm going to gather up these rocks and we're going to go start on that planter. So I gathered up some rock. I have my plant. My pot is holding water. Always test that, whether or not you use the tape, the waterproofing tape. It comes in a black roll. I want to say it's Gorilla brand. And I'll go ahead and tag all that in the link below in my description for my Amazon. Through Amazon, you should be able to purchase that. I have heard people use marine grade putty or even like a plumber's putty. So I'll try to find those and link those, make it a little easier for you. The main thing that you'll have to have is the planter, the rocks, the plant, the pump. Alright, so this is the pump that I went with, and I will definitely link this in the description because I just got this on Amazon. I didn't go with a solar pump. We don't get enough sun, and quite honestly, I don't really like the solar pumps. I tried it in my bird bath, and it's okay. This one's really cool, and it has a little surprise that I want to share with you at the end of the video. So let's get started with putting the rock inside of the planter. The brand is Domica, just so you know, but I'll put the link. And let's see, it's pretty straightforward, guys. Cute little pond pump, and the surprise, there's a light. So at night, the light will come on. I have to figure out how I would do that exactly. I don't know if there's a timer or if it just stays on all the time, which I'm thinking it is. It looks like it's wired into here. So I don't think you have a choice. You have to put the light on. Whatever. Doesn't sound like a problem. So it just has this little spew out top. So basically the water just comes out the sides, and I believe you can adjust the flow here, but you're not going to be able to like get different types of flow. You'll just be able to adjust that kind of donut like flow, and I think that's really pretty, honestly. Let's see. Uh-oh, how do I do this? Okay, there's a little piece in here. Another piece. And put the smaller piece inside the pump. Smaller piece inside the pump. Top piece over. Hold up. Let's put the donut. It's like a puzzle. And then let's put that top piece on. And we're gonna put this piece. That's it. So I guess the main thing, because that's the only pieces you get, is getting this pump high enough that the water, the fountain feature is above the water level. So more than likely I'm gonna have to add a rock. Totally fine. Because I also want to have some kind of rock that will support my plant a little higher. And thankfully I have two outlets here actually. So this is like the perfect place for it. So let me go find a rock. Okay, I'm back. And I had this bright idea. I could use a pot to set the pump on and then put this pot, which has a hole already in it. And then that way I can just set my bog plant right on top. I could be recording a total fail, but we're gonna give it a try because that's what we do. You have to experiment. All right, so hindsight, if you're able to get the smaller pot in before you put the rock, that would be easier. Make sure it's centered. Or actually, you don't even have to have it centered. It's wherever you want to put it. If you want to put the little fountain off to the side, you could, but I don't know if I have that much space. So we're gonna shove this guy in here. Well, this might not work, but I'm gonna try it. Okay. All right, let's see how we're gonna do this. Because I want the light outside, obviously. Let's see. It's a little cumbersome doing this standing up. All right, so problem is the light only goes around the smaller part of this and not around here. But I'm just gonna go ahead and take it out and I'll just place it in a different area. See if that works. And if it doesn't, I'll just start over, shoot. But yeah, we're gonna do that because it doesn't fit on the larger part. Stinks, but we're trying. Hi, Ricky. I think I'm gonna put the plant in before I put my feature. I think I can wiggle that in. Let's see. And I'm gonna have to trim this a bit. There's a lot of little pieces. I think they call it frog bit. I'm going to trim off some of these pieces that have bent and falling over. There's so many new pieces, but we're going to get rid of the ugly. I'm wondering if you can propagate these or if they just grow by rhizome. And if you know that answer to that question, I'd love for you to comment. Let me know. I'm thinking these grow by pieces. This piece has like a little extra growth, and if I'm not mistaken, that might be a propagation point. You know, always learning something new. So yeah, it's when you're cutting your plants, it's like, it's hard to do, but then you realize how much better it's gonna look, and you kind of just go with that. There's so many new pieces, and like this piece is just broken. It's not gonna recover from that. So we're gonna snip that off. But I have some pieces that I'm actually gonna try. I'm gonna try to propagate it, why not? Or just stick it back in the planter. All right. That is very much what I was envisioning. I have to figure out which side I want facing forward and then how I'm gonna maneuver this, because I can use this as some support and as a background and height and just everything involved. And what I like about this spot is that I'll be able to see it. And my kitchen table's right there, and this is like a really pretty vignette. So I'm enjoying that. Some of these guys are just really top heavy. But, you know, I did drop it. I'm almost feeling like I would love something in here. So let's go see. Let's go hunt. So this is weird, guys. This was a yucca plant that I put in here. Making sure there's no snakes. And you can see it's rooted, and it was kind of just not looking great. It's beautiful now. I never knew you could do that. And then this is a plant that I don't remember the name of, that I did the same thing. It was not doing good in my garden. I literally stuck the whole root ball in there, and it's thriving. But I think it's going to be really pretty in my little garden. It'll give me a little different color and variation in leaf shape. Apparently it likes water. I'm literally just going to take it and place it into the water in front of this. I can also go get another pot or just kind of stick it here next to this. Kind of cover my wires. And remember, I still have this light. And I'm sure there's a million ways you can do this, but this is the way I'm doing it. So I'm gonna maneuver this into the plant. So here's what I did. Because it's growing just fine in water, I just placed it right next to this, my little papyrus. I have the light not around my fountain right now, but here, which I think is still going to be beautiful. It's going to give me a nice little uplight. Can you see Ricky? He's so sweet. All right, so there's some duckweed on here inside the plant that I bought, and I'm hoping that that will start to float up, and then it'll kind of give me a little bit of coverage. I'm going to see how it does as far as like what can you see with the water. So I'm gonna start filling it. Wow. All right, guys, that is just so crazy. And the duckweed all came up to the surface, and you cannot see the pot or anything else, honestly. I'm hoping that this will sort of start getting some algae and some growth on it, but it doesn't look bad. I could also try to put some kind of moss or something on there, but I'm not going to worry about it. You know, it's a natural look. I feel like I want to put something here, but let's go ahead and plug her in and see how this looks. I have it filled up right to the brim. Hold on. I think this one's attached to the light inside. Hold on. Houston, we got a problem. Okay, this is real life, y'all. So I think what's going on is my top is a little tight. So you have to unscrew it, give it a little space to flow. Oh my God, I might cry. I just might cry. Look at how pretty that is. And do I need something in the front? Not 100% sure. Wow. Get some of these cords hidden. I might put some plants, something more tropical back here to sort of hide these ugly cords. Man, that's so frustrating. But man, I was gonna put a plant in here and I'm so thrilled with this. This is such a better option. And we have frogs, so I would imagine frogs are gonna get in there. And I probably need to put some mosquito bits in there as well, which I'll also link. I'm gonna try to link as many things as I can to get you guys started so that you're not running around trying to figure out what it is that I did. I think most of it's pretty self-explanatory, but I'll add all the things that I purchased that I can find on Amazon so you can easily go ahead and buy those. I'm loving it. I love it. I want to sit on my swing and just hang out. I have so many ponds out here and fountains, but this could be a really bad habit. Okay, so here's the mosquito bits. I'm not going to use these, and I'll tell you why. They float. I don't really want to see that, but they do have the dunks, and per the name, they dunk and they float to the bottom, and I won't see them, but it'll still do the job of preventing mosquitoes and not hurt my plants or the water. You could get mosquito fish, these little tiny fish, but I do foresee frogs because we have a lot of frogs, because we have a lot of water features, and they're just going to eat. It's going to be a frog buffet. So yes, I love frogs, but I don't feel like just putting fish in and letting them eat everything. I could if I ever found some that are cheap or free, but for as of now, I'm going to just leave it be. I have some other ideas, but I'm going to save that for another video because I need to go source materials. So yeah, this is amazing, and I'm going to let this just sit and do its thing here. I love the way it came out. Couldn't be happier. I don't think I could have put a plant here that would have given me this much joy. So I will probably find some, hopefully I have the plants and I don't have to go out and buy more plants. I'm trying to avoid that as much as possible due to our water restrictions, but I think I have some plants that I could place back here to kind of create this little corner with the water feature. And yeah, I feel like this is going to be an ever-growing project, so I hope you stick around. Thanks for watching, and I hope this inspires you to do your own water gardens. Maybe you just have a little container. It doesn't even have to be this big. It could be a smaller one, so maybe I'll do some more videos about that. Let me know what you'd like to see or what you think I could add or do differently. I'm always open to suggestions, and as you can tell, this is real life, and I'm learning as I go a lot of times, but I have a pretty good idea of the things that I want to do, and I'm happy to take y'all along with me to see kind of the troubleshooting and things that I can do and not just act like I know it all, because I don't. But the result is proof in the pudding. I hope you'll have a great day, and thanks for being here.